Now, there's not a heck of a lot of snow out here this morning, but it is pretty cold. It's about -3 at the moment, probably getting colder, and I wouldn't call that a complete whiteout, but you know, in the valley, not much snow, but it's gorgeous out here, albeit rather crisp and fresh. But it kind of makes you feel alive. I don't know if you enjoy going out in the cold. I certainly do. But this is gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to going out, finding a spot, and I think I'm going to make me some coffee, some long overdue coffee for this morning. So join me for this very short trip. I'm not recording from my usual camera. I'm just using my phone today because this was a last minute kind of trip. Now I kind of decided I need to get out of the wind a bit because it is fairly windy up here, and I've decided on that spot right there. And let me just show you why I decided on this spot. Well, for one, it's not as snowy in here, and I'm kind of protected. I wouldn't say pretty much all around, but in terms of where the wind is coming from, I've got these bushes in the way, and I've got a small spot in which to nestle in. I'll probably put up my lavvuu, Polish Army lavvuu tent here, and I've got plenty of you know, dry fallen sticks on the floor, dead wood right here, so dust those off, we'll have a cup of coffee. And the view's not too bad from here. You can see the South Downs. But just to give you an idea of the inside, so I'm going to put my my roll mat, which is canvas and wool, canvas for the ground, wool for my bottom, obviously, and then I've got like a sleeping bag liner, which I could drape over me like a poncho. That should do fine. You can tell where the wind is coming from, that direction, as I said, so this lavvuu is going to do a good job to protect me. So it's snowing again. I don't know if you can see that, but just ever so lightly. I'm going to try and do this one-handed, but just put my roll mat out. Now I made this, some of you would know that I made this Last year, I'm guessing around Christmas time, I think I wanted to have it done really by the end of 2020. It didn't take awfully long. What does that say there? Have a quick show and tell. Not 100% wool, but 1943, April 30th is when that was made. That snow melting. Here you go. So that will add insulation, but also provide some warmth when I'm just stationary. Get my pack off out of the snow. And there we have it. I think we're almost there. This is my pack. Served me well. It's my French Army Lafuma backpack. I'm guessing from what I've seen, around 1940s, 50s, or late 40s. Really well made. I love that you can put your roll mat, your sleep system here outside, and then your sleeping bag and food, etc., tarp on the inside. I normally have my lavvuu tent here with a roll mat and then a blanket or something like that, which I can then strap on. Once this is cinched up here, then you put your sleeping bag or whatever, and then you tie it down here. The back end is really cool, with an external frame here. Not sure who this is, but probably the first owner of this. But really well made with wool here for padding and leather straps. Still really well made. There was one repair that I had to make. Trying to figure out where was that. I think it was just I added this feature here so that I could grab it here. But again, it's not perfect match, but it does the trick for the most part. So ready for some coffee very shortly. Now another thing I always keep in my pack. Well, I always have some work gloves. But we're gonna have some coffee now. But one of the things I always keep in my bag is this right here. It's just and I can attach that to my belt buckle or my belt loop. And that is just a sitting pad, a pad to sit on, and there you go. Keep my bottom warm and dry for the most part. And this is by Helicon-Tex, and it's got their Cordura fabric, and it's served me well. I just love that you could just compact it, fold it back up, and attach it to your belt loop, and then off you go when you need it. So I might just use that as well today. But let's get this coffee started. So because I'm recording from my phone, it's going to be difficult trying to set up the stove. I will do my best, but this is what it looks like on the inside here. I need to make sure that is closed up properly. I'll do that now. The last thing we need is snow or rain coming through. But let's show you how this is set up. So it comes in 4 pieces here. And make sure that it's sitting on properly, because what you don't want is and that slots in nicely there, really good. And that pops on the top, and then you just flick these out, and this is where your pot or your kettle will sit on it. Like I said, hard to do one-handed. There you go, and you just feed your, you know, even with a pot on there, a kettle, you can still feed the fire through this little gap here. I like that little feature. So I'm going to move this slightly forward because I don't want smoke in my tent. So I'm hoping the smoke is just going to whip past that way with the wind, and then carry the smoke across that way and not into my shelter. But let's have a go. And ideally your sticks that you use for this need to be about that size, so they can go in there and not stick out a whole bunch. That's too long, so that I'll cut with my saw right now, and really most of these. Try to clear as much of the snow off of these, but this is dead wood. That's snapped really well. See if I can snap that one. Yeah, you heard that. So that's about the right size for this, maybe a little longer. So I wanted to show you what's normally in my tinder bag. I've got a little tinder bag here, tinder bundle, with birch bark and things like that, other dry material that I collect beforehand whenever I can, whenever I come across birch, things like that. But I also have here just some spruce resin, and you'll see this dripping down a spruce tree very often. And so I collect these are like almost crystallized, excellent, really great once you've got the fire going, just as your secondary burn material, just really to keep that fire going, almost like candle wax, I'd say, but excellent natural material. And then as well, I will have chalk cloth that I prepare in advance, and that's ready to go. That will just take a spark with your fire steel and your knife, and just, you know, it's really good. It's starting to snow again, whether you can see that or not, but it is. Hopefully that doesn't get put out by the snow that's falling now, but just some of the thinner sticks that I've got to get it going. It looks like it's going really nicely now, but only time will tell. Might add just a couple of birch bark bits in there just to encourage it along. It's -3 up on the hill where I'm at the moment, but I'm sitting, you might see some snow going past my face here, but I'm sitting in my lavvuu, which is a French Army poncho shelter. It's 2 ponchos put together, which forms this lovely tent, canvas tent, and I'm quite comfortable. And I'm about to make a cup of coffee. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got my coffee going. Hopefully it'll brew very shortly, but it's very cold out here. I'm comfortable for the most part. Really good. Oh, that's so good. Really good coffee. And as you can tell, that's where the snow and the wind was coming from, so I'm glad I brought this shelter. It's really comfortable inside. Well, that's the end of this short journey. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's very cold at the moment, probably -3, -4. We'll catch you on the other side.